Still up. Good, I'm gonna call the meeting to order at 6:30. Up there, I've got it on here with the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I guess you. Yeah. I sent the agenda out and I didn't really hear back that we had a lot of things to put on it, so it's kind of light on business tonight, but I'll take a motion to adopt the agenda as is unless somebody has something they want to tell me about now. I'll move. Okay, a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All right, all in favor? Aye. We've all had a chance to see the meeting minutes, so I'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes from the April 14th meeting. Second. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Oh, sorry.
You haven't read, so I can hear what you said last meeting, because that wasn't there.
I'll catch you up later. They're on the website, so you can read them. Right. Right. I'd be happy to, yeah, do you want to print a copy for him? Okay,
Thank you.
I wasn't sure you were just joking or serious,
I
but we'll get you a copy. Okay. Hi, Roger. In terms of my report, I am adding one little thing here just to tell you about, it is not as easy to go and sit at Stewart's all day with people as you would expect. I wanted to make sure I was doing things properly, so I asked permission. And I had to then call corporate office. And they have to send the request up the chain and they will call me back as to when and if I can do that. There's like a 20-minute rule to sitting at the tables. So,
Thank you.
and I just didn't want to bother them. I didn't want them to think I was taking advantage in any way. So it was like, is it okay if I do this? And I won't be a loiterer. I'll buy coffee. I'll get a piece of pizza or whatever and just put a sign, ask me about the library. But I will be hearing shortly whether or not I'm allowed to do that. I do have, I did this once before and now I've asked Marion to make it available for just me. So it's one person, not a quorum, to meet with the staff. So it's me, Marion, Claire, and Taylor, so that we can just talk about how things are going, you know, how can we best support and work together? What do you need? You know, what's stressing you out, those kinds of things, so that we just keep facilitating good employer relations and connect to the board that way. And that is scheduled for this Friday, May 15th. And we're going to do it at 9 o'clock. I would prefer in the future, though, that we take seriously the delay opening and do it at a 10 o'clock time so we don't go outside work hours and just delay 1 hour for the library opening. So we'll do it at 9 o'clock this time, but next time we'll put a notice out so people can know, you know.
It doesn't necessarily mean that they'll pay attention,
We do what we can.
and
And then-
people would not be surprised if someone just still knock on the door at 10 a.m.
Okay,
Because patrons are used to that. It's one of the most positive feedbacks we consistently get if they like
right.
the consistency of our hours.
Okay. We'll be clear with our communication and give them heads up anyway. That's all that I have. Oh, I did meet with, the Adirondack Folk School also today. They have a really great program that is coming, the first session on Thursday. They have, an author coming to run a writing workshop and then sit around and answer questions from people. Her name is Kate Fagan this time, but it's a series that they're going to do. And I said, well, that sounds like right up the library's alley too. How can we collaborate? And they said that they gave me a business card and they said that we would be getting together and talking about ways that we can collaborate with them and their programs. They did, this was just a conversation, it wasn't a plan or anything, but they did say that they love the facility here and that might be a good place to host it, even though they're sponsoring it and organizing it. So I will continue further talks with them. So Colin, it's all you.
All right. In front of you, there's a bill for the month. We had a couple of labor arrivals today. Also cleared in where I moved the money, Marion got a grant issued to, and she deposited in a regular checking for $10,000. And I pulled that out of the regular and I put it into the interest bearing account as of yesterday. Yeah, so there's a special note on that.
Mhm. Which grant was that?
Marion can.
Oh, you're
I
gonna
gotta
go
talk
over
about
it later,
yeah.
okay, okay.
I'm sure,
Mhm.
but I just wanted to
Yep.
discuss where the funds are at this
Mhm.
time. Stopped into the oil service that we're using. Just to discuss what we're gonna do for next year. And because the end of the fiscal year is coming up for us. And we'll have to decide what we're gonna do there. There's a couple different options. I'm just waiting for them to present them to me, and then I'll present them out to what we're gonna do, or if we're gonna try to shop somewhere else or whatever, but just let you know it's coming, so.
Are we currently with Morabido because they bought Waterhouse?
Yeah,
Yeah.
correct, yeah. I mean, they have been here, they didn't never let us run out,
Yeah,
during
yeah.
hard times, and I'm not saying that we need a shop, and, I mean, they did try to accommodate us even through the hard times of the price of oil.
Yeah.
So just letting the board know that that will be coming up shortly here. Other than that, I don't have anything else. I'd make a motion to pay these bills.
Second. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Thank you, Colin.
Yep.
Secretary's report? Any? No report? All right, Marion?
Okay. Take the packet and pass it down, please. I have a little bit here to cover. Most of what you have in your packet is, the typical statistics that I share with you, every month. There's also some additional information that I will mention in just a minute. Update, I knew last month, but I was sworn to secrecy, by the American Library Association, until they wanted to be the bearer of the good news to the world. We received a grant through, LTC, which is Libraries Transforming Communities, for $10,000. This will go towards helping create the library to be a more ADA compliant and more inclusive. What it will do is, I don't know if you remember, several months ago, I applied for a construction grant through the New York State DLD to replace our circulation desk, which is not ADA compliant. And through that grant, we're required to match, and I believe it's around $5,000. I don't know the exact figure off the top of my head, but this grant will cover that match. And there should be sufficient funds left over to make the door at the top of the ramp, a power door. I do need to have some community meetings, to talk with people who are struggle with mobility, but I've already had 2 individual conversations with people who very much would like the door to be power. It would make life a whole lot easier for them, and I'm sure they are not alone.
Mhm.
So that's exciting news. And because we're waiting until October-ish to hear about from the DLD on that construction grant, I applied for a 1-year extension for the Sal's construction grant that will cover the installation costs of it, and it's covered the sink and the removing the bumps, and Colin's done a lot of that work for us. They've granted us a 1-year extension, so we can wait to hear
Mhm.
what's going on with that. We've received a couple of other small grants. It's very small. It's only $134.81. I'm not exactly sure if it's coming down through Sal's, but it's to help support summer reading. So if there's special craft supplies or certain books that we want to have to promote this year's theme, which is Unearth a Story. So very excited about that. And we did receive a $600 grant from LARAC, and that will cover the poetry writing class that we're going to be hosting this summer. Barbara Unger has agreed to come and lead that workshop for us. And today I received the list from civil service for the clerk / program support position that was approved last month. I do have to work from that list. But again, I just got that today. I'm hoping to send emails out first thing tomorrow and then hopefully be interviewing in the next few weeks, and we'll see what shakes out of that one. Also, I was contacted by Warren County, and we will be on their list of cooling stations. We do not have to do anything other than what we already do. It's just we'll be on a list with our open hours that, hey, if it's too hot, here's a place to go cool down. And in the summertime, we have a big fat 5-gallon jug that we fill with ice water too. So just excited that we'll be in there.
Warren County reached out to you on that.
And an email, yeah. Just asked me to go on a list. They said I did not have to do anything, you don't have to change anything. They just want to put us on there that we're open and people can come in and cool off. They wanted to know if we have air conditioning.
Did you tell them there's a beach right up here? Top of
Yeah.
the hill?
No, they didn't ask for that information. You guys have the copy of the volunteer policy in your packet. There is one single line updated. Colin was 100% right that the,
Oh, come on.
well, on this
Yeah.
particular
You'll
case,
see
okay,
that.
just this one particular case, that we should have the harassment training. Where did I put it now?
We got it highlighted here in the front.
Yes,
But on the policy
it's on
itself,
the policy itself. I know I made an adjustment. Did it not state?
oh, it's under training and supervision.
Thank you. Yes, volunteers will participate in annual sexual harassment training. Robert said that absolutely should have it. On my report, you'll see highlighted, that's the website that, Robert referred me to. I
Yep.
didn't print out that policy because it was 40 some odd pages.
Yeah, good.
But on that website, there's a policy that we can print out as well as training things. And he says anybody 14 and up would simply take the same training. There's no different training for teenagers.
Okay.
And then these are just some items that I don't know if we want to discuss or just be thinking about. Next month, I believe we have to approve the fiscal 27 budget.
Mhm.
I know things have kind of stalled. We're waiting to see what happens a week from today.
Yeah.
And then we want to be thinking about in July, we want to have a special meeting to install our new board member and or, to do those little housekeeping ideas where we vote for who's going to be what officer and all that.
Last year, just to remind myself, we didn't have a special meeting, but we did, like, when you two were elected, you had to go to the town hall and do the oath of office,
Yeah,
right, before the meeting. So we just had a regular meeting for
right,
organization. Okay.
right. Well, I know the year before that we had a special meeting.
Yes, we did.
I'm
yeah.
I know you like to have 30 days, so I'm just thinking ahead.
Yeah.
If this is something you want to be thinking about.
Yeah.
With the fiscal year coming to an end, we also have the opportunity to change the day and time that we meet, should we so choose to.
Okay. Well, if we're considering that, and not to do it tonight, but Colin, I just wanted to make sure that we're thinking about the reason we changed the meeting from third Tuesday to second Tuesday was to be better able to deal with the finances, the books, and when the bills come in. So let us know if it's working, if we need to stay this way or change it or
I
something.
don't think it much matters.
It doesn't matter, okay.
Because we're gonna get late.
Late Bill's coming in. Late Bill's coming in
We
all the
wanted
time.
to do it the first Tuesday, but it conflicts with another town. meeting.
Right.
So now
So-
conflict with town.
Okay.
You know,
We got
Okay.
several bills that we haven't even got yet for the month.
Okay,
Today's we're almost halfway through the month.
all right.
So we just, I know we want time to think about those
Yep,
things, so
yep.
your planky idea. And then, if it's at all possible, I have shelves in the back of my office that need to be moved to the staff room, so we just have some more room for stuff. Because my office is getting cluttered and so is that back room. And some things we just need to keep handy. It's not an urgent deal, just something that would be helpful.
Are you looking for some help to move shelves?
Yeah, they need to be taken off the wall and then remounted onto the wall. So, and then also you have a couple, question?
No, I'm just trying, never mind.
Okay, sorry. You also have a copy of the email. I forwarded the email to everyone from Tracy Clothier. The town of Lake Luzerne is updating their current zoning code and they're looking for feedback. She actually stopped by the library last week personally. They're looking for, if we have any input, they're going around to different businesses and entities in town. I don't know if we wanted to do something. I think Janice and Beth, you're the only one, oh, no, Josh lives in Luzerne. As individuals, or we could send them something as a library if there's something that's heavily on our mind.
Mhm.
I believe the meeting is early next month, I think she said.
Okay,
And then, underneath that, is just an invitation to, the LARIC ceremony where they award the, grants.
okay.
That's just kind of FYI.
Next Monday reminder is the dinner at the Queensberry. We're all signed up for that.
The,
Aging.
The 18th, yeah.
the 18th, yes, 1 week from yesterday.
Those that wanted to go for some.
Yeah, the 18th is coming Monday.
Yes.
So that's it,
That's it.
unless somebody has a question.
All right. I don't have any questions. Thanks. So are we ready then to go back to this? Oh, sorry. We will have public comments in after new business, which is coming up shortly.
Okay.
Fremont, okay?
Yep.
Yeah, so you know, so unless there's something else that needs to be added, this policy should be ready to be voted on to be approved.
It's the same as the one we've seen a couple times, but you did add
I
the
just
training
added
and
the one
supervision
time.
that's required.
The annual sexual harassment training. Yeah.
Okay. So,
Robert said if we put it in there, just make sure we do it,
right.
which obviously,
We obviously, yeah. So will that cost money to do? Because I was,
my understanding is there are free ones online.
okay, this is the free one probably that he gave us the
Probably.
website for.
Mhm,
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
I've not had time to read through the 40 some odd page document yet, but I'm working on it.
Well, I'll make a motion that we approve the volunteer policy.
Second.
Discussion. All in, is it time to go yet? Discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay, so that is then posted on, this will be posted on the website with the date that we approved it. Okay. There, to my knowledge, is really no new business for this particular meeting.
Yeah, old business.
That was it. The volunteer policy was the only old business we
There's
have.
nothing else.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for my hero Robert here, 16 months. I'm making out that. Thank you.
Same, same, same. Same, same.
There's a few libraries in the area that are no longer using it.
Yeah. Yes, I am. Yes.
So I think maybe we have to think that direction.
Okay. We
I
can,
spoke to the people in Saratoga and Las Falls.
yes. All right.
It's me.
Okay.
Serious issue. So
Yes,
if
okay.
you just keep kicking it under the bus, fine.
We
But
can
then you
also,
have a problem.
right,
I don't want anybody to say I didn't say so.
That will not be factual. So,
Just like,
okay, so I'm putting
you
down,
still don't have insurance for sexual harassment, molestation either.
yeah.
sooner or later.
Okay. So we don't have any action to take tonight, though, in terms of like something to vote on. We're aware and we are working on it, but
We're aware, and we've been aware. for
Yes.
months.
yes,
So when is it time to say, we're done getting camp, we're done with you, and we're going a different direction? Especially after we paid thousands of dollars to this idiot.
Mhm.
Oh, sorry, didn't see the outline. Cause it's ridiculous.
okay,
Thousands of dollars, not pennies, thousands. And in our last conversation with him, he stated we should get 5,000 or 6,000 back. Now, the next time we talk to him, he'll say we probably owe him 5,000 or 6,000. But it's ridiculous.
Do we need to wait for him to get us this money back before we can?
Well, he handled the case, man.
So it doesn't matter if he's no longer represents us currently, we would still have to.
I think, to be honest with you, we're gonna end up losing it and moving on. Washing our hands with this individual. Get somebody
Every
new.
manager runs it,
So
or
the-
does the board run it?
so the action you're making, are you making a motion? I don't even know the process here, so what you'd like to do is review and investigate other attorneys to represent us.
So I think it's time. I really do.
Okay,
With the year coming to an end, that might be a
Okay.
really good time.
all right,
I mean,
So-
this is sad.
Wasn't Kim
yes,
gonna?
yes.
You know, the
Other,
last time that he discussed it with him, he was getting somebody that helped him out because he's just been so overwhelmed.
yeah.
Well,
To be fair, I haven't asked anything in this period of time from the last meeting to this meeting. I haven't reached out to say anything in particular that he needed to do.
yeah, but he knows.
I know,
And if you
I know.
don't, then
I know.
it's pretty clear.
Well, I've discovered you have to be a squeaky wheel with him, because I finally got the final okay with this last week, and I started asking him about it right after the last board meeting.
So who runs the meeting? the president or the
So we're,
Library manager.
hold on, if you don't mind, Fremont. So what I'm gonna do is, put that on old business. And then when we get together at our next meeting, we will have to have something to at least review action, possible action on. Does that,
Whatever, it's fine.
okay. Okay, and so I'm gonna bring that to this is the June meeting,
Yeah, that's our final one for the year.
and that'll be the final for the fiscal year. Okay,
Yes.
all right. Okay, so there's no new business, lingering old business that will next time be reviewed and put on old business. Now it is time for public comments. If you would like to make a comment, just state your name, where you're from, and you will be given the floor.
I got a lot of questions.
All right, you get it. I mean, we're small, so we don't have to be very rigid about it, but we do about 2 minutes a person.
First of all, who runs the meeting? You or her?
I do.
Cause I see her make a lot of things saying you should do. Number two, you shouldn't make a motion. It should be the board. Number three, who's up for reelection? And are you backing him? Or are you just gonna let him fall away and not be a member of the board?
So I'm supposed to run the meetings as
Yes, you are.
the board president.
Yes, you are, but you
And
can't
then-
make a motion because you're the president, which I've heard you make motions tonight, which you're not supposed to do under Robert's rules.
Okay,
It's one of the board members that makes the motion, and then you find somebody to second the motion. You only run the meetings, you do not make a
I'm
motion.
not allowed to make motions.
No, you are
If
not,
I've
so
made-
every
if I've been
motion you
a bit-
made tonight is null and void.
What motion? I know I did make a motion. I can't remember which
Yeah,
one
you
it was.
did.
I think
You
it
did.
was to approve, I think it was to approve the meeting minutes.
You moved to adopt the minutes.
Okay,
Well,
So do we need-
I move we adopt the minutes.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. So we corrected that.
Who's up for reelection? Are
Um,
you backing in?
Josh is,
Or are you trying to get somebody else in there?
Josh is up for reelection, and as
Well,
far as I
I'm
know.
not-
he
I'm not
did-
necessarily up for reelection. My term ends in July and I'm not running again.
Okay,
And so I'm not a candidate.
okay,
Okay,
that's
yeah.
what I needed to know.
Yes, sir.
I would definitely publicly like to thank you for your service,
Who
Josh.
voted on the budget? Which board members voted on the budget? I know
None
she
yet.
can't vote, but who's
We
who's
have-
here voted on
We
the budget?
voted, we approved putting a resolution in front of the taxpayers about
did that?
increasing the budget. I think the three of us voted yes, and Colin and Josh voted no.
You can't vote until there's a tie. And if there's a tie, you vote. Which way did you vote?
I voted yes, but Prima, I'm gonna have to do some research here. I tried to study up on I'm not trying to do anything underhandedly. I did try to study up on Robert's rules
Well, I
because
know
it's,
we gotta vote,
but,
and I wanna know how you stand, cause I already knew how the vote turned out.
okay,
There was 2 for and 2 against. You had to vote then.
I'm allowed to
Otherwise, you
vote.
don't vote.
and I did vote, and I voted yes, but,
That made my whole decision.
okay,
Now I knew where you stood.
okay. All right. Do you have do you want to discuss that more? Do you have any other questions?
Cause I already know where you stand, because
Okay.
you voted for it, that's all
I
I
did.
need to know.
I did,
What you voted for, cause I know the other 2 just got voted in, you went for the increase. I do not appreciate it,
okay,
because I think this one over to your right, 2 persons, it has too much to say, and she shouldn't have nothing to say. She should not even be set up there, she'd be sitting right here. Cause
that's,
she's not a member of the board, she should be sitting here.
but she is the manager, and so
But
when
she
we-
should be sitting here.
I don't
Just like
believe
highway
that's true.
superintendent or any place else in Robert's rules, she does not sit up front, she sits right here.
Okay,
She is not a member of your board. She is the manager. She sits here, not
Okay.
there.
we'll take all that into consideration, but when you hire someone, in my opinion,
Well,
you
you're
hire
hired.
someone and
She's an
she's,
employee,
can you-
not a member of the board. It's voted into
right,
office.
she's an employee,
Therefore,
so she
she
has
says here.
responsibilities.
She sits here,
All right.
not there, here.
I will do some studying.
I know the rules.
All right,
I know the regulations.
okay,
It's I've heard all about it for many a years, and since you changed this over, it's not following Robert's rules. You need to follow Robert's rules. She don't belong up there.
okay. Well, thank you for your information.
I got a lot of things to say, but that's the only thing I'm gonna say tonight.
Okay. All right, well, thank you for attending and thanks for the information sharing, and
I've
I,
heard too many
I can just-
controversies too long. He's a good man. I knew he was up for reelection. I knew he wasn't rerunning. I really think he needs to be there because you need somebody on the other side of the fence and you ain't got him.
Okay.
And this place going down the shitter cliff.
I want to make sure that you are very clear that I did not want you to run.
I didn't say you didn't want it.
So it sounded
I'm
like
just
you were saying I didn't
I know
want
the
him to.
consequences. I've heard it. I'm
Okay.
only one guy in this whole town. I know 2 people. One of them happens to be myself.
Okay,
I know what's going on.
okay,
I do know what's going on.
all right.
And I think it's a crying shame that he's stepping down for a reason that's not good. I know.
Do you know the reason? I didn't know the
I've heard
reason.
enough.
Okay,
I've heard enough. I'm speaking my voice.
okay,
That's what this is all about. And I don't like what's going on. That's why I'm here tonight.
well, thank you for coming. Does anyone else have, Roger?
But just so you know, that I'm not trying to be picky here.
Yeah.
But, I worked in the, New York State Division of the Budget for years.
Mhm.
I work in the SUNY Albany budget office for years, and I worked in the Department of Social Services for years in the budget office. So I have an extensive background in budgets, and I saw this document here for the first time this morning.
Mhm.
And it's obviously a school budget.
Mhm.
Okay, but, and then it also includes 4 propositions.
Right.
But there's no budget in here, you know, for this operation. Okay, so, I thought I would come here just to reflect on the situation
Mhm.
from a tax, or from a voter's point of view.
Mhm.
Because I'm given the opportunity here now to vote on something here, particularly Proposition 4,
Yes,
which is a concern to me.
okay.
Okay, and I would start off here by reading a summary of what Proposition 4 says. It's not very long. It says, the proposition is that a sum of $250,000 be raised for the funding the operation, the operating budget of the Rockwell Falls Public Library. It says nothing more than that.
Hmm.
Okay, but what my concern is what it doesn't say.
Mhm.
It doesn't say that the current operating budget is $190,000.
Mhm.
Okay, it doesn't say that this proposition is looking to increase that operating budget by $60,000. It doesn't say that it's a 31.5% increase in an existing budget allocation of this year. And, what's concerning here is that any kind of a budget would give you background information. And if this is in fact the budget for this year, if it doesn't pass, what financing does this operation have for this next year?
So there's a couple things. One is that proposition and the wording of that proposition was created by the lawyers the way they were supposed to do it. But it doesn't, so our budget isn't 100% done until the voters decide whether they vote yay or nay on that. Then we vote on the distribution. We met on budgets for a long time on what it was, what we were gonna spend things on. The 190,000 would be, we would revert back to the 190,000. It also doesn't say that there was no request for any increase to this budget for the last 7 years of the existence of the library. And if it had been asked for in increments, then we're just, I think, a little bit above what that would have been or
Yeah.
something like that.
That's significantly more than that number.
Um,
60,000
but-
is, I think, almost double the amount that it would be.
My memory isn't so good that I can retain everything that you're saying.
Yes,
And, but it's ass backwards to have a budget hinge on a voting outcome. And,
Well-
just let me finish.
Yeah.
Anytime you go for approval of a budget, the budget is complete. It includes not only the current year information on
Yes.
expenditures, it includes all the historical information for a set number of years, it might be 5 years.
Yeah.
We
have that and we did
but
that,
see,
but
see,
they don't get that.
the point is that the voters are being asked to vote on something, but they don't have that background.
Mhm.
So what this,
Roger, can I just say one thing? And I'm not gonna cut you off. I want you to finish. But we did advertise for 2 town halls for people to come and see the flyers that explained the different elements of the budget and the different reasons and rationale for the request. And Beth and I and Chris were at the first one. And I don't know if anybody came to the second one.
I think that should
But,
be weak advertising though. I think the advertising is obviously ineffective if the majority of the community doesn't actually know about it.
Well, what would you suggest that I've done besides advertising on Facebook?
Well, we're asking for 60 grand, in addition, so that's pretty significant. I think that the taxpayers deserve an actual voice in that, and they deserve a clear picture of what the situation is, so whatever that requires should be done.
So I'm not disagreeing with that, but we do public meetings all the time. We did public meetings every time we discussed the budget itself. We did, we've had it on Zoom for people to watch. It was reported in the Post-Star. Like maybe there's something else we could do, but I can say for sure, we have tried to be informative and open and transparent. And the $190,000 budget was the original one 7 years ago when they were chartered as a school library, and without any increase in that time and increase in prices, what we were up against was looking at cutting hours for the library, cutting hours for the staff.
So
And so that, because I personally don't believe that they deserve to have their hours cut so what we've decided was that we would let the voters decide whether or not they could approve an increase that would correct that measure of no increase for 7 years.
So you have a real problem in your hands, and that is attendance.
Mhm.
Okay, you don't have very good exposure. And so when you only if this is all that's gonna show on Proposition 4 that they're gonna read and vote on, it's absurd. Okay,
Can I ask if you have a suggestion?
yeah, I do.
Okay.
If you're gonna put something in a budget document,
Mhm.
there should be a budget. There's no budget in here.
Well, the school makes that, first of all.
Pardon?
The school makes that. We didn't have any control
It
over
doesn't
that.
matter. You're
but-
running an organization here. If the school doesn't accommodate you to the extent that it should, you need to speak up. You need
There's
to make
laws,
sure.
we put it into we gave it to our lawyer gave it to their lawyer, they got together, and that was the document that they came up with in terms
It
of.
doesn't matter, because you are responsible for this operation,
Mhm,
and this operation requires a budget, and it requires the vote from the public.
mhm,
Now, if you don't inform the public, you're gonna get a skewed result.
mhm.
And I'll explain one thing, this is a very ambiguous wording here. And the reason I say that is because you don't show that the current budget is at $190,000. There's no base.
Mhm.
So the question that could be, and this is, I'm not trying to present an absurd conclusion, but I'm just trying to show that it's really a weak document,
Mhm.
okay? I don't know if that $250,000 is an increase over the existing 190,000,
Mhm.
or does it include everything?
Mhm.
Okay, you're telling me it includes everything, okay? But as a voter, I have the slightest idea.
Right.
And, I really think that you can't let the school district get away with this.
Just
So,
curious,
yeah.
historically, is that how it's always been done, like for the, what, 2019, for
Yeah.
the 190, is that,
Mhm.
I just.
So
That's
something
what
about the
we're-
190 that's important to mention too. We keep saying like the 190, we haven't had the increase that's the 190. We were at, I think, like 70,000 before the 190. So that in and of itself was a significant jump. So that argument and that conversation it doesn't make any sense. But it has been because we haven't asked for an increase. It's incumbent upon us to not insult the voters by not giving them a clear picture of the actual vote by doing that. And that language is extremely deceiving. It's almost disgusting. It's
we
so
don't
deceiving.
have control over that. We have no control over that.
have-
So we
Well,
did
you
the,
have control over your budget.
we
And when
do.
she says we're doing these programs.
Yeah.
You have 12 children show up for a program in the middle of the day that no one can come in from all the outside towns that you're collecting tax dollars from. That kind of sucks because she thinks it's a good program and she wants to spend more money. You gotta cut her budget right in half.
You're
That's
kind
a
of making
different
a
issue.
personal.
Let's
like,
talk
thing.
about, let's finish talking about this. Because I just assumed that, I was actually shocked myself when I read that.
The way it was worded.
Because I
haven't even
didn't,
seen it yet.
I
It didn't come to me.
I didn't understand it. The first thing I did was I
Yeah.
texted you and I
Yeah.
said,
Well,
What happened?
Board members, you should understand everything that's being written.
The
We
the
did-
taxpayers have elected us and they've given us $190,000. We are not supposed to throw up our hands and say, oh, it's out of our hands. We can't do anything about it. We're supposed to say, we're gonna take responsibility and we're gonna do something about
That's a
this.
mischaracterization. of the-
Last year.
No, it's not.
What I was
That's kind of
saying
what
is
you said.
that-
Spent.
All right, we're gonna,
The,
one at a time, Bethel.
yeah.
How much
The-
last year?
The verbiage,
Please, one
the
at a time.
verbiage was out of our hands. The lawyers decide that. I was really surprised
And that's why I asked, is that how they did it last time? It had nothing to do with deception or anything. That's just the way it's done. And if this is a bad way to do, we try to make up for it by having town meetings two scheduled last week, hoping that people who received that and had any questions about
Where do
it
you put it on
would
the
show up.
internet?
It was.
I don't have.
I barely knew about it and I'm on the board,
Yeah.
like, give me a break here, you know what I mean?
So what are you supposed to do? You're on the board and you don't know about it. What are we supposed to do to?
We're supposed to put in efforts to do it. If
Like
we're
what?
at,
Wait,
you
wait.
literally are asking someone for
Okay.
60 grand and saying,
Hold on,
I don't
hold on.
want to put in the work
To
to give a
order.
clear picture.
We started working on the budget with open meetings and everyone invited in November. And we looked at a variety of things that we needed. We looked and considered cuts. When we even took the vote on sending that to the school to request the resolution for an increase, we asked everybody at this table, that is a board member, I made the motion. Colin wanted 10,000. We asked you if there was another number that you wanted. You said you didn't
And I
want.
said that you
and
weren't
we-
allowing conversation. You culminated in two options and that was it. That's ridiculous. That is completely irresponsible and it's not the right way to function as a board. It's not. It's not the appropriate way to function as a
That's
board.
why you don't have a board.
So we're left with a situation here
Dropping out.
where we're putting a deceitful thing before the community, and we're asking them to vote on something that we don't give them a clear picture. And quite frankly, it's absurd that we're asking for 60,000. And the argument every time someone asks is, well, we haven't asked for an increase for this many years. Well, if you asked for an increase for that many years, you wouldn't come nearly to $60,000. We're being greedy.
So at this
We're
point.
asking for an exorbitant amount of
I
money.
hope it gives
that we
you
don't
down.
need.
Okay, well, that is up to the voters now, and all I can say personally, from my point of view, is that I'm not speaking for anyone else, but I do trust that we never tried to be deceitful. We never tried to be
We are.
underhanded. We never tried to take advantage. We did what we thought we could do
But
to
this
the
is
best of our
by
ability.
mission.
Exactly.
Okay,
Yeah.
now, we still have 6 days left before next Tuesday.
Correct.
Is there any way that the voters can be informed as the voters come in to vote?
Not at the place of voting, you can't do
Just
that,
100
but that.
feet away.
That is what I was asking about for Stewart's, that I was gonna go spend a whole day being there to say, ask me questions, let me help you understand, tell me what you think.
The only avenue that's going to be united together is the vote itself. That's all that you got left for the next 6 days.
Mhm.
And I think that something needs to be done to inform the voters, even if it's on their way in, and they can see that the current situation is $190,
Mhm.
that you're asking for a 33% increase.
Mhm.
Okay, but you're not telling the voters what that money's gonna be spent on. Now, when I look at these processes,
Either, so.
Please stop pointing fingers.
I will.
thank you. What they did here, they have, propositions 1, 2, and 3. They're telling you that they're gonna buy 2 school buses. Okay, they're telling you they're gonna buy a utility truck.
Mhm.
Okay, they're telling you that they no longer have, use for $50,000 on 2 existing trusts, that they wanna create a third trust and transfer $100,000 into that.
Mhm.
Okay? That's what's in here.
Mhm.
And my question is, do they not need the $50,000 in each one of those 2 trusts? Should that go back to the voters in some fashion?
Are
I'm
you asking
saying
about
that
the school
as
part? I
bad
don't
as
know.
the situation is for you,
Mm.
they've got weaknesses here. When you look at 2 school buses, is it new or is it replacement?
That,
Same with a utility truck.
so there you would go to the school board to
Yeah,
vote.
I know, but I'm trying to
Questions.
let you know that the school board isn't faultless in presenting bad information to the public.
Okay,
But it's even worse by far, because what they've done here is they've taken your bottom line on the budget, $250,000. There's not an iota of what makes up that 250,000. The reason that proper budgets will put down the expenses for the last, say, 5 years is because you may have a budget of 190,000, but you might only spend 160,000. Okay, so why are you automatically gonna get $30,000, you know, without even showing that there's a justification for that? And then add another $60,000 on top of it.
Mhm.
Okay, that's what budgets are, that's what they're for. And this is bad news for the voters.
Okay,
It's certainly not, well, it will be bad news, I think, for you
okay.
in this regard.
Mhm.
If the Proposition 4 is the only thing that they're gonna vote on and it fails, you don't have a budget for next year.
We do.
You
We have,
don't, no,
well,
because
we
if
have
this
to
is,
go-
if this is the mechanism to prove the funding,
Mm.
and it doesn't get approved,
It
what
does-
are you going to
it
do?
reverts back to the 190,000 and we've been working on how to manage that. But,
No, please. That is meaningless to the voter. The voter, if they disapprove this, they're saying, we're not gonna approve $250,000. And all the work that you've done is down the toilet.
Okay.
And I really think that you're being put in the spot here because the school board did not present a proper budget. They have 3 pages here of their own budget, 2 pages.
Mhm.
But they didn't give you a line.
all right, I really am hearing you, both of you, and I'm going to open the floor to other people now, so we have our time up, and we will be back here in June, and we will hear what the voters have to say next Tuesday. So I do appreciate it, Roger. Thank
Okay,
you.
but I, just, I appeared before this board in the
Yeah.
past.
Mhm.
And it's 2 minute, it's nonsense. Where do you get the legal authority
We haven't
to tell
kept you
people to
to 2
shut up after 2 minutes?
Well,
That's what-
I haven't even been keeping time, Roger. I haven't been keeping time. I'm just trying to be
I
fair
know, I
to let
know.
everybody speak.
I noticed that with your first
Yeah.
conversation, but all I'm saying is, that's ridiculous.
Okay.
If there's an important consideration on the table, the people should be allowed to express themselves if they have the knowledge and the background
Mhm.
to bring something useful to the attention of the board.
And I hope you feel like you have been,
Oh,
You've been
tonight
given
is
that
entirely
opportunity.
different than the last
Yeah.
time.
okay,
In fact, it was so bad the last time, I just said, I'm not gonna do another damn
Okay.
thing for the library.
okay. Mhm.
Janice, in regards to that, did our attorney look at that before it went to the school? Or
Yes.
any discussion with the school? Our attorney?
Yes, yes.
But I think it's a good point.
It is a
And
valid
the
point.
next
I don't
time-
know how to control it though.
It's too late for this
Right.
year,
Mhm.
other than
Uh,
trying to
these
get more
flyers-
information out there between
Just so everybody
today.
knows, these flyers that went out
Mhm.
were late. Lake Luzerne got theirs last week.
I haven't gotten mine yet.
Okay.
And I'm in Lake Luzerne.
So I
So,
went to the postmaster in Hadley
Mhm.
to find out what's going on. And she sent me to the postmaster in Lake Luzerne.
mhm.
And they stated that they changed the laws last year. And everybody is to get one, just like you get your taxes with your name and your address on it,
Mhm.
instead of just throwing them all in a bundle of bulk mail.
Mhm.
And I really went off on them, because how come Hadley didn't get theirs yet? And all of a sudden,
I'm happy, I got.
I haven't gotten
when did you get it? Yesterday,
I
right?
got one yesterday and I got one like a week ago, but the library hasn't gotten one yet this year.
I know a lot of people haven't got them yet.
I just,
It's
and
sad.
I hear that too, but that's also not something I can
I know
control.
it's not,
So
but I'm just saying,
yeah,
I'm just
so,
saying, the
yeah.
whole, I
So
mean,
what
I don't
can we
know, I don't know what it would cost the library to pay to have your own thing and
Oh.
you draw away from the school entirely.
Oh,
It's just food for thought. I don't know what
Okay.
kind of money.
I hear you.
$60,000, I'm sure.
So
they can
I
afford it, right?
can have one every year.
I'm gonna give Chris, there's another public, did you have your hand up, Chris?
So I actually, I agree that, when you ask people to vote for something, you need to really explain it. And it was, I mean, I've only lived here since 2004, so this was really new to me.
Mhm.
But, you know, it was a little informal on a couple of things with the school too, so I just thought this is how they do things here.
Mhm.
But I do agree that, you know, the library is separate from the school. So it's obvious that going forward, I think it sounds like you're gonna take another approach with
Mhm.
this kind of thing, which is good.
We're gonna look into everything we can to keep the library
You know,
open, thriving and,
I like the way, Roger, right?
Yeah.
That you teased things out to, explain to people exactly what that money would go for and as a way of explaining that, like line item kind of things, you know, I do think that that is really helpful.
Mhm.
as far as we've got 6 days to the vote, you know, I also appreciated the comment, I don't have internet and stuff like that, because I think that's really important to focus on going forward. I do think a lot of folks are not in that stream, and some of them aren't on Facebook either. So, it sounds like going forward, you're gonna think about other things, and I think that's very good. Unfortunately, like lawyers are great for lawyer things, but like CPAs or people who work, like I came from a church background, like that kind of budget line item, color code things. I love that because I'm not a numbers person, so the word that's explained to me the best. So it sounds to me like we kind of missed the mark here. People are upset about it. I can understand that. But it also sounds like we have 6 days. So what do you think the best option is with this bulk mail thing? I'm sad to hear that because I was thinking, oh, we can reach the voters through bulk mail next year or whenever we do it again. But it sounds like that's not worked out either.
Well, regardless, it's like what Roger said. What they put in, there, they might as well not put anything in.
Well, I also agree with that.
See,
because it doesn't
so-
tell you.
So regardless if nobody gets one, it really isn't gonna matter, because it don't clarify where and why we need this X amount of money.
Yeah.
Cause that's what I get hammered about every day.
Mhm.
Walking out of Stewart's this morning, telling you're on the board. Yeah, I am. How come $250,000? Come to a meeting, I said. That's all I said. Come to me, because I'm not gonna
That's
get
why
one
I'm
of these
here.
people. Because
So-
you know what they say to me? Trent Library, $90,000 a year. That's what they run at. $90,000 a year
In, what did you say, in car?
in Corinth, okay? I just walked away. I said, come to me. That's all. You know what I mean? I can sit there and,
I like the little pieces of paper, like my husband and I came the Wednesday night, and, I liked it, literally 2 pieces of paper with nice colors on for people like me, and it explained like the programs and that kind of thing, and I appreciated that, like, we're like, oh, this is what this library does. And I think you're right, that that's the kind of thing that, as you're an independent group, would be really good, you know, next time. So
Yeah.
my question is it effective when people are already there to vote for people to stand out with those kinds of?
You're not allowed to, because that's campaigning at
But
the,
somebody said within 100 feet.
Right, it's 100
Yeah,
feet.
yeah.
I understand.
so,
But there again, you get 2 or 3 people and know somebody in town, that 100 feet don't mean nothing. And there's a couple people on both sides of the river know more than 1 or 2 people. And that bad news travels twice as fast as whatever you're trying to put out there. And let me tell you, right now, it ain't good for me. I'll tell you right up front, I don't like what you guys did. I think you're way overspending, and most of it's people to your left. They're saying, we gotta have this, you look at the statistics of what I've seen, and the people, the children that show up here for these events, and when you have it, are totally ridiculous. You got 12 people that show up for an
don't
event.
call children ridiculous. Wait.
But there
You bet.
again, let me speak.
Mhm.
You got 12 children that show up here and they got 3 employees to show up for 12 people. That's more than what the teachers teach up here. They got 25 children. She wants 3 for 12. Let me see. Yeah, it's a little ridiculous.
I'm,
Cut back the
if
budget.
nobody new has anything new to say,
Well, I think it's worth having a discussion about what we can do between now and Tuesday, if anything, like, what
you
can we
think we
do
can
to
resolve
get?
that right now?
Well, if
Yeah,
anyone has,
It's on the table. We're here.
If-
Discuss it.
if people have ideas, we're open. We had the meetings last week. I was incredibly disappointed. Marion was extremely prepared with slides and handouts, and people didn't show up. If there's a better way to get the word out and we schedule a meeting,
Would you be willing to take flyers, from I'm Chris.
What's that?
Would you be willing to take flyers to people that know?
No, Absolutely not.
I think the issue is that it's hard to defend. The last thing you said at that meeting where we voted on it was we have to sell this to
My
people.
opinion.
The best thing to be able to sell to the people is something you don't have to sell at all because they're in agreement with you. The problem is that this isn't selling to anyone. We're selling a lump of coal as if it is a piece of gold. And that's the issue is that we don't have clear indications that we don't have the building project. We don't have massive increases in programming that we can present to people. We're just saying, hey, give us 60 grand, and we couldn't balance our other budget. In fact, we refused to balance our other budget. Give us 60 more grand and we'll play with it. And maybe we will and maybe we won't. That's the problem here, is that the whole thing has been done fairly irresponsibly. And we just have this big mess and then we present it as if it's okay. It's not okay. We're talking about taxpayers' money here. It needs to be done in an orderly fashion and it's not being.
It's hard to, at this point, in this forum right now, at the public comment point, to actually go back and do the justification that I feel like we did actually for months and months and months. I mean, I can go through some things that I do believe in a library. I believe in a library that offers a space to everybody in town. Welcoming. I believe in books, and we cut the book budget back, and then we were cutting the program budget back. We were cutting everything back, and we were down to, in order to pay the bills, we will need to cut hours that people can even use the library.
Because our
And then
commitment was to employees and not to the taxpayers, and that is a problem. And we had a
We have
discussion
3
about that.
employees, one has gone to part-time.
Very.
And so we have Marion, who is the manager and in the office, does the organization, does the research for grants to help with like a $10,000 grant for the ADA compliance.
Stop, we're down.
We have Claire that's at the desk, like managing the organization and the welcoming of patrons and the checking in and out of books and then we have Taylor who does the programming and is mobile. She's been out in Hadley Park with the youth program. She goes to the school and reads on Fridays to kids. She's run programs here. She's the one that's actually she's cut back her hours significantly, but is still coming in and running programs. And what I see is a group of people, including the board, even if we disagree, that's really working very hard to give our community access to a lovely facility, to good programming. They're doing I could just start listing the programming. They're getting together with the Department of Environmental Conservation to put out birding books where you can come and get binoculars and you can learn about birding. And I don't know, I feel like there's been our book club on Thursdays. We have new people coming and we keep pulling up chairs. That's at 4:30. The book club is.
Most of the children, we can get out the bus.
It's for adults. It's for adults. I did mention an idea that we had to maybe service the kids that are out in Stony Creek and Town of Day. So maybe we could do something after school when they would have transportation. We haven't done that yet. That's an idea that we're working on.
There again, most parents work at 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Right.
They work down in Albany, takes them an hour to get home. So what good is that program? If you want a program like that, put it at night.
What kind of program would you think would make you feel like you were getting something out of this library?
Well, I've been in this town for almost 68 years. I visited this library probably 4 times. Out of the 3 times, it was because of her husband,
Mhm.
okay? This is my 4th time. There's no reason for me to come to this library because there's nothing here for me. Now, you started a food program out here,
Yeah.
which we have, Walter Maxfield.
Mhm.
Why do we have a food program here when you got Walter Maxfield down? Why are we competing with other places in town that's doing good?
It's a different program, actually.
It's still the same program.
The fresh-
Free food.
Produce.
It's different. We work with the
We're
company,
still the same program.
but we are not
Free
in
food.
competition with them. We actually
But it's
work with
free
them.
food.
Exactly.
So,
And many
And I
patrons
used to
depend
pick
on
it
it.
up over in Greenwich and bring it, well, I brought it to Hadley, brought it to here and took it down the day. Whatever wasn't given away, I took down the day.
mhm.
I know what the free program is, cause I was involved.
Mhm.
When I speak, I've been involved.
Mhm.
I don't just speak because I wanna speak. I'm speaking now because I don't like what's going on. Things gotta change. You didn't show me what you spent in the last 5 years. You ain't showing me what you spent
All those
last.
budgets are on the
It
line.
is online. It is public
I do not
information.
have online service.
Well, we
When
can
you
print
bring a
one for you.
budget forward, just like the town of Hadley, when they do their budget, the fire company, the emergency squad, the library, before it became what it is, showed what they wanted and what it was for. Right now, you show nothing, so I want X amount of dollars. Let me see. You ain't showing me nothing, and my voice, which I know more than 2 people in this town, is gonna speak up and say, vote that sucker down, cause it ain't worth the shit, because they ain't telling you what to spend the money on.
Okay,
Continuing what we're doing is like a 2% increase. We're asking for 60 grand. That's like we need improvement. We need
Yes, you
something
do.
significant that we can sink our teeth into. We don't have that. The conversation we have is, well, we didn't ask for a raise for a while and we've been doing good things. That's not 60 grand's worth of things.
Absolutely.
There is no, like you said, sell this. There's no selling this. It's a lump of coal
You're not
as a
selling
piece of gold.
nothing. You're being liberal and want to say, I need this money and I need it now, and you're gonna pay it because we're gonna vote in school budget. Well, you ain't got nothing to prove what you need it for.
We
I know
do.
you're the person-
We do, and the fact that you're not online is a good
It doesn't
point.
matter. You're holding
It
me
does-
something that I don't want.
It doesn't matter.
have-
We have gone to, we have tried to reach out to people in many ways, and this is probably,
Not enough.
this is the third time tonight that I'm saying, why don't you come up with some ideas between now and Tuesday?
That's your job. You're on the board.
We're elected.
Active.
You're elected to do that.
so
That's our job.
I'm gonna give Roger a chance to speak because he hasn't had a chance yet, and then I'm going to wrap it up that everybody's had a chance to speak. So,
Well,
You
you
don't want
got
to
this
speak.
all up.
all right, so, because I don't feel like we're being productive anymore. I just feel
Yeah.
like we're getting
Trying to
emotional.
explain things
So,
while you're going.
Roger, go ahead. Oh, that Roger.
Yeah,
Sorry, the other Roger, he hadn't had a chance to speak yet, so.
okay, just a couple of things. I looked some things up while I was sitting here.
Mhm.
Under Robert's rules, he is correct. You should not be making motions.
Okay,
However, you can vote.
okay,
Only if there's a tie.
okay,
If it's a small board, okay, you can vote. It does not have to be a tie. This is
Okay.
under Robert's rules, I just looked it up. Also, the library manager can attend a meeting at your invite. If you go to the school board meeting, the attorney's there, often the superintendent is there. They can't vote, but they
Right.
can attend the meeting and sit, at the.
We've been
table,
following
if
that,
you will,
yeah.
Again, under Robert's rules.
thank you.
So no, you cannot make a motion,
Okay,
okay, but you can vote,
okay,
and she can be where she is,
okay,
okay? And I can also print this out and give it to you,
thanks.
if that would be
It's a-
helpful to you.
It's hard, oh, sorry.
Did the library ever vote to conduct their meetings by Robert's Rules of Order? Because it's not required.
It is,
It is in the bylaws that we
Yeah.
would follow that.
Yeah.
My apologies and my inexperience. So you get elected to a position like this because I just want to serve the community. I want to do good things. And you don't, I don't know Robert's rules. I've never had to use them. I've never been on a board before.
So apologetic.
So I
So
just
now
trying.
it's been pointed
Yeah.
out, so you're not gonna make.
Yes,
That's the end of the motion in that situation.
On those three, I think that.
Yeah,
so
thank you. thank you.
I've been involved in an organization saying it's a common understanding among people generally that Robert's rules governs everything.
Okay,
If you look at the opening pages of Robert's rules, you're gonna see that it does not apply to many types of organizations.
Mhm.
And if it's in the bylaws, maybe it's time to review those bylaws and see if it really applies here.
It
okay.
is time to read
Yeah,
the bylaws. We got
We
an
will-
email about it from
Yeah.
the comptroller.
It'll be something that we will definitely be reviewing.
And the second thing, I want to thank you. I appreciate the way you ran this meeting because it gave, a lively discussion
Mhm.
with a lot of points being made.
Thank you. Thank you very much. With that, Colin,
Make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And so we are adjourned. Thank you. Thank you all.